We
haven't had pets on for a while.
We need pets. Hey, hi everybody. I'm Bill McCuddy along with
Patrick McLaughlin.
Are you ready to take the plunge? We're going to plunge. I'm wearing sunglasses because it's so hot this week. And this weekend,
how hot is it?
This is Weekend Live, the Hamptons now. You're not watching any of the other shows on LTV, which is mostly the town council meeting. This is a different kind of council meeting. We tell you what's going on in the Hamptons this weekend, the weekend of the 21st and 22nd of June, 2024. Correct. And it is action-packed. I mentioned take the plunge because we're going to meet a man who has a company here for the first time. You know what's really popular are these cold water plunges.
I see, I hear, I have not done.
I have a friend who has this. He lives in Florida and up here, and he loves this. They brought their own cold plunge pool. But you don't have to do that. There's a place in Bridget.
It's supposed to be really, really good for you in terms of recovery from sports or working out. But anyway, Dennis Remski from Hampton, founder of Recovery Lounge Hamptons, will be here and he'll tell us all about that.
We could use recovery in the Hamptons, especially this weekend because there's a huge, huge music festival called the Palm Tree Festival, or it's happening on the Shinnecock Reservation for the first time. They used to do it right here. We're at LTV. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a
high-end real estate here.
We call it
on
the
Industrial Drive.
Yes, this is in the most expensive zip code in the country, and this is what's keeping property values down. This building. We're right next door to the airport where they used to do this Palm thing.
Did they used to do this show at the airport? They probably
yes. Here's how we'll bring the guests in, one at a time. All right, park over there. Rob Rich joins us. He's a celebrity photographer, has shot everyone, and including a little surprise picture for you that we'll show.
Oh, I saw it accidentally in the control room. Okay. I was not pleased.
We go to a lot of stuff out here, and he shoots a lot of stuff out here. I have no idea who that woman is, and you'll tell us when that happens.
Yeah, but he shot. Yeah, they used that picture for the police blotter a few years later, but whatever.
Hey, speaking of police blotters, sorry to Justin Timberlake, who almost spent a night next door at the Wainscott jail, where you don't want to go there unless they.
No, I think they took them. I think they take them to Hampton Bays.
Okay, because the one here has a penthouse, which is kind of nice, and a happy hour at 5 that he probably would have skipped. But yeah, he unfortunately got pulled over, and
what goes around comes around comes around.
Sag Harbor on the we hate it when the Hamptons get on the map for a bad thing or an undesirable thing. And
was it the New York Post called? What did they call the American Hotel? It was hysterical. A quiet little out of the way restaurant. Like a quiet little out-of-the-way restaurant.
Right.
It's on Main Street in Sag Harbor, so I don't know how that's very quiet, nor how is it out of the way.
Where everyone who used to work on 60 Minutes goes to get plastered. Okay, yeah, the American Hotel in Sag Harbor, and now
by the way, did you see?
Made more famous by Justin Timberlake.
They were doing a stand-up for NBC News, and who do you think walked out of the American Hotel?
No.
Yes.
You?
No, Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. No, Billy's not drinking. Hey, Andrea Grover.
No, I'm just saying it was very funny that they were talking about it's a celebrity hotspot, and then Billy walked out.
Andrea Grover joins us from another huge event happening this weekend. And again, if you're just joining us, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons now. We're all about showing you proof of life that we are on the air live today, all weekend long. And the art sale, the tag art sale.
Clothesline art sale? Is that what it is, Andrea? I have it right. Clothesline art sale. Which is a big deal.
Yeah, they raise a lot of money for Guildhall. They just put a lot of money into it, and you can buy things there from $75 up to $3,500. So, and you can get some real bargains there. That's happening this weekend. As I mentioned, the Palm thing. Rob Rich, who's the photographer I mentioned, is the official photographer of that. Very celeb-filled. The Swedish Mafia, I think, is playing, and he'll give us
some of the details. Jody, who are Swedish Mafia?
Swedish House Mafia.
Swedish House Mafia. Are they a lot like Flock of Seagulls? Or Duran Duran or anything like those bands?
Everyone young and hip is behind the scenes.
Yes, I'm behind there.
Behind the scenes. We know.
The control room's howling.
The control room is howling, yeah.
How about Toto? When are Toto going to play in the Hamptons? That's what I want.
Toto, the dog from...
No, don't you remember the band Toto?
Oh, yeah. By the way, there is a Dan's list. I don't know how you get on it, but we're going to look into that. And,
By advertising.
And there's art by Dr. or Mr. Brainwash this week on Dan's papers. So that's.
How do you make the list in any local magazine? You buy an ad.
Well, I don't know that that's exactly the case. Hey, speaking of buying ads, one of our sponsors is the James Lane Post. They cover arts, culture,
yes,
and more. And you can learn about them at JamesLanePost.com.
And who works at James Lane Post that we know?
Oh yeah, Bridget LeRoy. She is so old school. She got COVID. That's how. And I'm not making light of it. I did for a second. She's fine. She has a very low grade fever.
We send her our best, Bridget. We hope you're feeling well. I
Better,
doubt she's watching, because I wouldn't watch when I'm not here.
Yes.
You know.
Who is watching? We never know. Is this even a show?
Is Mrs. McCuddy watching? Actually,
in the background, you're looking at Main Beach, and some of the other guests we have. We're going to learn about.
Let's say hello to everyone on Main Beach.
Hi
guys.
We're going to learn about tag sales this weekend, but we also have Vince Manzo, the king of tag sales or deals, or how to ferret out some bargains when you go to some of these things. He's done it for people like Martha Stewart. Remember that ABC they actually in prime time, Joy Behar was there because she goes to all of the tag sales out here in the Hamptons, knocking on Martha Stewart's door. Anyway, famous people go to some of these things, and he curates them. He's going to tell us all about that. Also, the Recovery Lounge we talked about.
Yes.
Austin Butler drops by, kind of, on tape. From
That's
an
just like dropping by.
From an interview about a new movie called The Bike Riders. Now, I'm only mentioning this movie because last week I told you Regal was bringing back the Monday Night Mystery movie. Those are really good. This week it was The Bike Riders, so it's now open to everybody. But every Monday night they do a sneak screening.
I have yet to go. By the way, the one time I went to the movie theater since COVID was last summer, and I saw Indiana Jones. That was the last movie I saw.
Okay, you're what's wrong with the whole movie business right now.
But you know me. Like I used to be
you're
fanatical.
Mr. Movie. You go
about
all
movies.
the time. No.
You know what? I feel like everything's the same anymore.
The Mad Max movie is great, but it was only in theaters for 2 weeks.
You know what I watched on iTunes, though? That's part of the problem. Everything's on iTunes.
Well, that's
like
what I was
next
about
week.
to say.
I watched this, not the Stuntman, what's it called? The Fall Guy.
Oh, The Fall Guy.
It was actually really good.
Thank you. I said it was great.
You said it was good. I'm like, I thought it was great.
I think Ryan Gosling is one of the greatest comedic actors working right now.
Very funny.
Emily Blunt is the best at either taking the joke or putting a nice exclamation point on it. And the movie is a beautiful kind of Valentine to guys who work as stunt doubles. By the way, Michael Clark's stunt double is here. It's his brother.
Is that his brother? I saw him in the control. Michael Clark runs LTV.
Clark, he runs it, and whenever you see something on LTV, like a town council meeting, and a fight breaks out, that's his brother that steps in as the stunt double. So
do a lot of fights break out?
A lot. You have no idea, especially during sweeps weeks.
More fights break out there than at a kids' party at Chuck E. Cheese in Long Island? Anyway.
Okay, look, we are here.
They're telling us to move.
We're here all weekend long. Let's go to the weather, and then we're going to meet a guest, Andrea Grover, who's going to tell us all about that sale at Guildhall.
What's the weather, Bill?
Well, on Saturday, it's been so hot all week. We actually get
how hot was it?
We actually get a little cooler this weekend.
Let's ask Brett Summers.
High is like 90. On Friday,
it feels hotter than 81 today.
But
there's no way.
Guess what? Saturday and Sunday.
On Friday, it felt hotter.
A little bit more, less tepid. I mean, is that the best word for it? We're overcast. Not going to rain, but overcast on Saturday. High 79. That UV index. That's how overcast we are. Is at 6. And then it gets a little sunnier but breezy. That's what that scratchy looking graphic is. We spare no expense here. Somebody did that with an Etch-a-Sketch. Sunday, high 79, low 70. The UV goes up.
I think Zach did. Zach, did you do that?
We don't roll credit.
Yes, I did.
We just yelled, "Did you do that?"
Zach did that. He said, "Yeah, I did it."
Yes.
I love this graphic. I think it's great.
Both of our interns are named Nicole. It's very, very confusing.
Hey, Nicole, where are you?
Yeah, right. Hey, back to live action. Say hello to Andrea Grover. Andrea, welcome to Weekend Live at Hamptons. Now we'll be on TV any second now.
Okay.
Just Take it off pause. Okay, there you go. Weekend Live, that's the name of the show.
That's our fancy sign.
I'm on a show right now?
Yes.
Well, we
not
use the
really.
word show, a very loose interpretation of the word television show.
Hey, you have a lot of fun at Guildhall. You do some serious things, but also some really fun things.
We actually
And
put fun in our mission statement.
Really?
Oh, that's great.
I kid you not, yeah.
That's great.
the
It actually-
PHUN, so it's that new
Yeah,
hip way.
exactly.
Do you know my mother-in-law's an usher at Guildhall? At least she used to be.
Is that true?
Yeah, Mimi used to be an usher at Guildhall with Rita.
Bless her
Oh,
heart,
wow.
Rita Wasserman.
Yeah, I want to have Rita come on and do like theater reviews here.
Rita
for the
is my
show.
other mother. She was
Really?
born 3 days after my own mother.
I just
in
tell Rita we're talking.
1932. I talk to her every other day.
Well, we want to have them on as kind of the cranky critics, like the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that come on and go, like, remember in the Muppets, they had
Yeah,
those two
yeah,
up in
I
the,
forgot
Stanler and Waldorf.
up in the.
Yes, I love
Okay.
But they're not cranky. They love
But we
everything.
digress,
Anyway,
'cause that's what
Andrea,
we do here.
what's
No.
going on this weekend at Guildhall? You got to tell us.
God, I have no idea.
Does
The clothesline.
You're just
art
like
sale-
us.
Exactly.
she have ADD? Squirrel?
Nicole, the clothesline art sale is happening at Guildhall tomorrow, Saturday, June 22nd. It starts at 9 a.m. and it goes until 2 p.m. It's
It's only Saturday, it's not Sunday?
only Saturday.
Right. So if you're
And
watching
there
this
it
on
is.
Saturday, get over there
From
right
9
away.
a.m. to 2 p.m.
9 a.m. till 2 p.m. And it is a tradition at Guildhall. It's been around for 78 years. Some of the artists who've been in the clothesline of yesteryear were Willem de Kooning, Elaine de Kooning, Jackson Pollock, Lee Krasner, James Brooks, John Little, Alfonso Osorio. So in the past, we've had these major artists or artists who went on to be major, but it's a great place to find affordable art. As you said, the work start at $75. You pick them up and take them home. If you have a summer house or a guest house or your own house that you want to decorate, this is an affordable way to do it. And it's a beloved tradition that actually started on a clothesline.
That's crazy.
That's great.
Yeah.
And stunning pieces. Stunning
So
pieces.
could you have
Yeah,
gotten
really
a de
great
Kooning
stuff.
once upon a time for
You
like
could have gotten a de Kooning or a
Pollock
Pollock or
for
a
somewhere
Lee
around
Krasner.
for
That's amazing.
500 or $1,000 or whatever?
Probably much less.
Wow.
We're talking about the 1940s and early 50s, so we're probably $25.
How many years has this been going on? This
78.
Did we say
78
70?
almost
Yeah.
since the beginning of Guildhall. Guildhall
Wow.
is 93 years old.
You
this
got to
year.
start watching the show. It's really good.
Yeah.
I've heard good
Yeah,
things
I'll
about
tell you
that
about
weekend
it.
live.
So that's what
Yeah.
we're really saying to get people to show up Saturday is maybe the next great de Kooning or Pollock, or I'm sure all the pieces are beautiful.
Definitely, and there are a
but-
lot of really exceptional professional artists working today who are in the show. The artist Scott Bluedorn is in it, Rosario Varela, our own director of visual arts, Melanie Crater has a work in it.
Oh, cool.
So it's working artists today, and that's what it was, 50, 60 years ago as well. But some of those artists went to be canonized in art history books. So
Are they donating all these pieces? So 100% of the proceeds go?
very important to know. It benefits the artists and Guildhall, so
Oh,
it's a
okay.
50-50 split of every sale.
Nice.
Okay.
So last year we raised $140,000 gross. So
Wow.
$70,000 went to the artists. They leave that day with a check.
Oh, that's great.
And $70,000 went to Guildhall. So we're hoping for that much this year. We have almost 1,000 artworks on sale. It's all in the back parking lot. We put up fencing, and so it all goes on the fence, and you kind of go through this
An
maze.
outdoor gallery.
Oh, yeah, it's
That's
fantastic.
crazy.
And people line up. The tradition is people start lining up typically by like 8:30.
I've
and
seen
then-
that, yes.
Yeah, they go around the corner because you want to get the best art. And then I get a bullhorn once a year for this. And I announce the opening of the clothesline art sale. It's so fun. Have you used a bullhorn before?
Wow.
I have not, but I have bullhorn envy.
Such power.
My wife had it
Such
on our
power.
honeymoon. I don't want to give any details. So anyway, everyone
was calling
is
for
it
help.
like the running of the bulls at Paloma? Do people
It's
or
it's like
Thanksgiving Day
a
at
very
Walmart?
it's a very gentle
Okay.
elevated Black Friday.
no artists were harmed in the making
No.
of this
People
event.
speed walk. They don't run or push. But no, it's
Hey, that is
great.
terrific.
it's a fantastic tradition. So, and we also have the artist members show at the end of the year, which is a kind of similar thing. If you're a member of Guildhall, you can hang your work in the museum
How
proper.
cool.
Any
That's-
silent discos this weekend?
Not this weekend. We have one on Labor Day weekend is the next one. And it's so much fun. Have you done those?
I've seen pictures and it looks,
It's where they put the headphones on and then they.
It's like prom night at the Funny Farm because
that sounds fun.
everyone is dancing and singing to a different song.
I look stupid enough dancing without no music playing while
Do
it's
you move your
happening.
hips?
It would just be too bizarre for me, but I see the others enjoy it. The show is called Weekend Alive because we're talking about what's happening this weekend, and it is the Clothesline Art Sale at Guildhall. Hey, listen, thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank
This
you.
was tremendous. All good luck this year.
My pleasure.
If you are watching this program on Sunday, you missed it. But
Too
if
late,
you're watching
haha.
it on Saturday or live now,
Go early.
Over there.
Go hear that
support.
bullhorn.
Get in the line early and bring your own bullhorn and yell back at her.
Exactly.
That would
we
be
yell at
fun.
each other.
Yeah. Andrea, thanks. Jody,
Yeah,
what's
thanks.
next on
Now,
the
what
show?
are we doing?
We have Rob Rich.
Rob
Well,
Rich is going to join
but
us
before
in a
Rob
second.
Rich joins us, aren't we going to show some neat
Open
video?
tables.
Ah,
Yeah,
open
let's talk about restaurants because I have an idea for a new segment on the show called Walk Right In.
Ah.
So here's Resi.com, but I want to
It's not
share.
Resi, it's OpenTable.com.
Oh, open table. So that's legitimate, and those are places that take reservations. But the concept I want to talk about today is something called Walk Right In. And where you can walk right in, a few places. I went to one this week. It's called the Crow's Nest in Montauk. Have you been there?
Yeah, they don't take reservations. Though.
So well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So the concept of the show is, or this segment, if you'll play along, is that these are places you can just walk right into. So we got there literally at kind of the way Rob Rich just walked into this shot.
Subtle
So-
and subtle without any.
Throw up the shot of the scallops because that was what we had at the Crow's Nest. Rob Rich joins us in just a moment. The wide shot on
Scallops?
And now go to there.
Oh, wow.
That's from Hungry for Hamptons.
Wow. Does someone have
what do you
an
think of
EpiPen?
that photograph? It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, my daughter took that.
I need an
Anyway,
EpiPen for this.
They have a great Mediterranean menu there. It's one of the places that you don't need a
thanks.
reservation. None of them. Another one is Bostwick's.
Bostwick's, you
The
don't
one-
need a Resi.
the
On
one
the
in
water.
town and the one on a harbor. And Topping Rose does a thing where you have to have a reservation to eat in there, but you can eat outside at Topping Rose that a lot of people don't know and order from the bar. Okay,
Can I
those
t-
are our
I just like that idea that you can walk into a restaurant out here.
walk right in. Hey, speaking of walking right in, here's Rob Rich. Rob,
Hi.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you for
I don't know
having
if
me.
you were paying any attention to what we do at the top of what we call a show, but we kind of
Oh, and it's
billboarded you.
we've still got a lot of time to
As
go.
a celebrity,
If you're as
you
bored as
shoot
we
a
are.
lot of famous people.
I do.
with a camera, you got to clarify.
Yeah. When was the first time you picked it up and said, "This is what I want to do. I want to shoot people for a living"?
With a
Well,
camera.
The first professional job that I had was when I was in college, at Southampton College.
Oh, you went out here. Oh, I
Yes.
didn't know that.
And it was photographing fat girls.
Photographing what?
What?
Fat girls.
Really?
Oh.
Before
Like
it was,
Botero
Before
fat
it was a hot
girls, or-
trend. Before it was in
At the time.
Botticelli, like that kind of
Yeah.
thing?
That was the
At the-
assignment.
At the time, the college had rented out their facilities to a camp called Camp Camelot for overweight teenage girls.
Oh, wow.
So wait, were you taking the before
For-
shots?
The before and after shots. yes.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's wild.
Do you still have those photos? That must be.
Yes, I have the negatives.
Anybody famous? No. Well, let's show some of your work because it's been published all over the world. And I think we're going to look at Howard Stern and Beth, and that's from In Touch magazine. You are on lots of different red carpets.
Yes.
And what is it about a Howard Stern and a Beth Stern that they trust about you? Because there's a lot of guys on that red carpet and they come over they sort of know who can take care of them and who can't. What is your secret?
They feel comfortable with me because they know I have integrity and I'm not there to make them look bad. I actually did a calendar shoot with Beth for the North Shore Animal League.
Oh, that's right. She's very
Yeah.
involved with that. That's
they
great.
had their big gala this
Yes.
week. Howard was talking about it.
So I was one of the few people that photographed her other than Howard
Yeah.
in that, with the animals.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, as you're discussing what you're doing, we're just going to keep rolling through some of your other stuff, and it's a pretty amazing collection.
Whoa.
Okay, that's one. That's one of.
That's a long
the
time
three of
ago.
us. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's-
have
Wow.
dark hair. And who's
You
that
have
on the
hair.
right? Do you know?
Oh, that's Joya.
Joy.
To Pollock, but that was
a
a bad
benefit out
picture.
here. That
I
was
don't know
a-
what benefit that was, but
It was not a bad picture.
Where
He
did you
took
get
it
it
and it's.
from?
no, Rob, I
Here.
look bad. It's a great picture.
But you were
Enjoy.
heavy at that time.
I was heavy.
This is-
Thank you.
there-
Brooke Shields. Oh,
We had Brooke Shields and her daughter, and
we're going back.
there's.
That was
yeah.
Jessica Biel, the other one, was Justin Timberlake's wife.
Yeah,
Was she
that's
with
right.
him? I wonder the other night.
It was just the guys.
No,
I
she
think.
was in Manhattan shooting
Oh,
a movie.
right.
But I wanted to ask
the
you.
Ashley and Mary Kate.
People Magazine, you've shot for everybody. When something like Justin Timberlake happens, do the publications or TMZ or something start showing your old pictures? Do they look through for stock footage?
They will, yeah, sure.
And suddenly a check will show up, I'm guessing, or some kind of a you
Not
have
like they
rights-
used to.
Right.
It's not, pictures do not sell for what they used to sell.
It's
Really?
Not, it's not.
Oh,
what-
yeah, that particular type of photography is just non-existent.
Wow, that's
What I
interesting.
basically do now is I'm hired by entities, maybe a big charity or a publicist or someone in marketing to photograph events, and then I just essentially give the pictures away.
So they own
For
them.
publicity.
They own them in perpetuity.
Who
Well,
does?
Probably. The
Whoever
people that
hires you.
hired you
Well,
or
we both
the.
do.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so you could get, if something gets 2 or 3 years later published, you could get a little something for
A
that.
little, but
Yeah,
it's not
But
what
it
it
used to be a
be.
big, yeah, it used to be a big deal.
It's really not. Everybody thinks, oh, I have this picture with so-and-so. Well, so do a lot of people,
Yeah.
you know?
So how come there are still like 1,000 photographers on every red carpet if it's that?
I guess maybe they do it for a hobby that you know.
Who were some of the hottest gets here out in the Hamptons when I got a shot of? Is there anyone that
Yeah,
like you
Lady
really
Gaga was out here,
right?
and I photographed her in what was supposed to be a tub of what people thought was blood. It was at the Watermill Center.
I was just gonna say, was it at the Watermill Center
Yes.
benefit? I swear.
Yes.
It was
Oh, wow. And you got that shot?
Yeah, but she's great to photograph on the carpet. She really is. She's just a lovely person, and she will give her time to you and pose nicely and
Can you tell when they're not?
Oh,
Can you tell
sure.
when they're sort of not giving you what can you take a picture and go, nobody's gonna buy that?
when you take pictures of, say, Bill McCuddy, you know, no one's gonna buy
Well,
that.
they know no one's gonna buy that. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of a give and take. I mean, and they have to trust you, as you said, and you have,
Right.
they trust you integrity and you've made them look good in the past, so you can, yeah. But it is weird what comes up, like right before, I don't know if I should talk about, Alec Baldwin went off to make that movie. The last photograph he took was at the Hamptons Film Festival. I don't think you took it, but it was he and I on a red carpet. And that picture, because it was the last picture before he went off to do that, and the unfortunate thing happened, that picture's been all over the world. I mean, it's been on the Today Show, it's been on NBC
so
Nightly
we're
News.
speaking with someone famous here today.
No, yeah.
So what are the big events coming up now? The most
Yeah,
star-studded
you're
events.
out here for the am I calling it the right thing, the Palm Tree
Palm
Festival?
Tree Festival, yes, I'll be shooting that tomorrow, and before that, some event called the Integrative, what was it? Integrative Brunch,
Oh,
Interesting.
how integrated was it?
which
Was it
it's
exciting?
pretty much a big group of women that get together and network and have a great time. It's always top notch.
Our own Jean Shafaroff, who has a show here on LTV, is she one of the frequent red carpet people
You'd have
that you
to-
shoot?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah, Jean is a philanthropist, as we all know, and a
Katie
very
Couric.
wonderful lady.
Katie lives out
Katie's
here
the
and comes to a
sweetheart,
lot of
too.
stuff. Yeah.
Brooke Shields is wonderful.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to be photographed? Can you tell us anybody that's
He
just
can't
like
say
Alec
that.
Baldwin is not fond of the camera.
Really? I've always found him to be sort of personable here locally.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You know,
I mean,
but-
he does support the Hamptons Film Festival.
He
I mean,
does,
He does come to
yes.
one of those red carpets and seems to get one shot and then he's done.
Yeah, he's not fond of being photographed.
Well, Rob, this is a great honor to have you here because we've seen your work all over the world, and you are kind of a fixture out here. I know you don't live in the Hamptons, but you're almost here during the summer every weekend.
Right. Oh, I am every week.
Yeah. But you know that,
that spans out through the week.
Yeah.
It's not just weekends, because people have events at other times.
I always see Rob at the Hampton Classic, and it's always a sad sign. It means like summer.
It's the end of
is over. It's
summer.
the end of summer. I'm
Yes,
like,
it
oh,
is.
bummer. Oh, hi, Rob.
By the way, next time you shoot he and I, a little more retouching would be good.
Yeah, can you use like some slimming filters or something?
You look great.
Burn that. Thank you, but I
Burn
mean,
that photo.
I didn't give
burn
him
that
that
photo.
picture. He must have
Where do you
found it on
find
the
by
website.
way? Rob, thank you for coming in.
Rich,
What
if
a
you are
pleasure.
attending the Palm Tree Festival this weekend, this is the man that will take your picture. When we return, we are going to talk to.
Here we go. We have a little rundown for a change.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, it's the-
so
it's the
right
real
now
estate
we're supposed to
roundtable.
talk about what's playing at the local movie theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
As
There
we
you go.
do that, I mentioned bike riders at the top of the show. Do we have the Austin Butler thing ready? So this is an interesting movie. It's being called Goodfellas on Motorcycles. And it stars Tom Hardy, Julie Comer, who I love, and Austin Butler, who he's been Elvis, and now he's on a motorcycle. We caught up with him recently at a junket, and he talked about his love for motorcycles and where that began. Take a look.
I grew up with my dad riding motorcycles, and my grandfather rode motorcycles. And so my dad, we used to go for long rides. We'd ride. My grandparents moved out to Arizona when I was young, and so my dad and I would ride from California to Arizona. So that I have a lot of memories of that. And then when I was about 16, my dad said, "You got to learn how to ride a motorcycle." So he threw me on. And I remember dropping his motorcycle many times in a parking lot trying to do slow moving turns and that sort of thing. And then when I was in Australia shooting Elvis, I met a guy named Cohn who owned this cafe. That was my favorite cafe out there. And he fixed up old Harleys. And so we would go riding together. And so that was my first time getting on an old bike. And then when I spoke to Jeff for the first time, then I just immediately just doubled down and started riding all the time.
Everybody.
Welcome back. Wow. Thanks. Anyway.
What's playing at the movies?
What's playing at the movies, Bill? At the Regal Cinema in East Hampton, we have Inside Out 2, which I hear is still really, worth seeing.
$300 million.
Bad Boys Ride or Die. Okay. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Home video. The Watchers. Don't know it. The Garfield movie. No. If is playing there too. So maybe I'll see If. That's the one with John Krasinski or whatever his name is from The Office directed, right?
No. If is Imaginary Friends with.
Yeah, it was directed by John
was it?
Krasinski. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's also a song by David Gates, but that's a little bit a few years ago. Mike Riders is playing in Sag Harbor, I
Oh,
believe.
okay. We didn't have that.
Anyway, we didn't have that. You know, I don't go to the movies often. What I'm always doing is doing real estate.
You're working all the
I'm
time.
working all the time, like Angie Boyer and Mellissa
Is this
Cohn.
the rehearsal or is this the show?
I don't know. I don't know. Bill,
All right.
do you want to do this interview? Because I'm really tired
no.
today. No, Bill, why don't you just do this? Why doesn't he just do this? I don't know why. Anyway, Mellissa Cohn, Raveis Home Mortgage, one of our sponsors. We love Mellissa. And Angela Boyer, Sotheby's International Realty, broker extraordinaire. So what's going on, gang? Angela, we got to talk about the story in the Southampton Press.
Oh.
You know about that story. What's going on? Tell everyone what's happening.
Oh, this is exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I don't really know exactly what's going on, but it appears that some homeowners are landowners, vacant land only so far. That's what we hear, only vacant land. They are kind of being taken over by fictitious homeowners who claim to be the
real owner.
the real owner, and they're listing their homes. They're calling real estate agents. They're asking if you would please list their property. They have the names. They have somehow connected to title companies, and I heard in Quag that they even had a title just transfer.
Illegal.
A legal title
fraudulently?
on a fraudulent
Wow.
transfer. So
So what it is they're getting fake ID of the real homeowner,
yeah.
saying that they're using an excuse, I'm out of the country, I'm being treated for a medical condition. Will you list my property? And then they're saying, well, we really want to sell. Do it for,
Sal, this
Below
is-
market
this is my
value.
bank account and wire advice. So
which
please send
happens
me
to
the
be in
money.
like probably, I don't want to say Costa Rica because that's where Bridget lives, but they pick some other country and they wire the money
But
and.
did you know that in some places there are ways that you can actually protect your home ownership of the land and of the property, and that you can prevent that from happening?
Please tell us more, Mellissa.
So there's a program in Florida that I know about where people can sign up through the title companies and through the state, where they are on a watch program, and that someone who is not the actual owner, they have passwords And so you're password protected with the ownership of your property.
Right.
So that someone cannot come in and fraudulently try to sell your property, because what happened here has happened all over this country. It's not a new
Well,
gig.
title companies are in essence supposed to be
The Guardian?
the guardian,
Yeah.
right? And so
I do know Suffolk County has that as well. Now that you mentioned that you can sign up with Suffolk County and tell them your address and everything, and they'll send you an email or an alert about if there's any
Any
changes
sort
in
of
the
transaction
transfers or
that
applications.
occurred.
but they were hacked last
They
year,
were hacked
right?
last
So
year, and that held up
hacked.
closings last year, as you and I both
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
For a long time.
A very long.
So, we're not really sure why things can't be completely protected, but it appears that it might get worse before it gets better. AI, all of these things will start to change. People they sound like an owner.
Yeah.
They speak the language, they understand the properties, they
They
know the
doctor
address.
documents.
They doctor documents.
The one thing I will do, and I suggest it to the other agents out there, because I've gotten one of these calls as well. I was quoted in the article, I hate to brag, but there. But I did a search, I have a reverse search thing that I pay for, where I put in the phone number.
Yeah.
And you find out who owns that phone number, and if it doesn't match the owner of the property, bing, the light should go off. It should go
It
off.
should go off, but unfortunately, we try to trust, right? Like
Yeah.
that's part of our business. We're people. So you want to trust the person that's calling you. I think what it'll get down
We're
to
people
is
who need people.
we're people
We're
who
the
need
luckiest
people. We
people.
are. We're the
Is that a
luckiest
song?
people.
It should be if it's not.
But-
Bill seems bored over there.
But we may.
Bill's bored.
It may get down to having to do either in-person or Zoom introductions
Right.
with your client, because most of us know the people we represent. Most
True,
of my
true.
clients and most of my buyers are people that have come through connections over the years, and
Right.
there are very few just random people that pop up, but these random people that kind of come into our lives, these buyers and sellers, it may get to the point where it's a Zoom or it's a real in-person meeting before you list their property.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, out of nowhere, it's hot out there.
It is.
It's hot out there. Is it going to get hotter out here in the Hamptons? I think that depends upon what you two say to me right now.
Well, if you're asking, are mortgage rates going to come down? We've seen a number of economic data points that have come out that have been weaker than the market has been looking for, and bond yields have dropped. But we unfortunately have all of these Fed members out there saying, yes, we see that those are the slower numbers, but we still need to be patient, before we enact our first rate cut. So mortgage rates have declined probably by 0.25% over the course of the past couple of weeks, as you can see up on the screen.
Yeah.
But until the rhetoric changes and until the Fed becomes more dovish, not in what they say, that's when mortgage rates will really drop. And that probably won't happen
But you guys
till the
are still
fall.
lending. Like, I haven't had, 7-8 months ago, you were in a little bit of a position where it was a little harder to get a loan. Banks are lending again.
Banks are aggressive. They want to be out there, and there's some new products that have come out. There's
You mentioned something, right? Like
Right,
there's some
so-
construction.
a construction home equity
Yeah.
loan. Think
Wow.
about it. So many people have really low rates on their mortgages right now. They want to put their house on the market, but they need to do some work, but they don't have the cash to do it. So there is a product now that's a home equity loan where you can borrow based on the future value of your house as a second mortgage without having to give up the low rate on your first mortgage. So
You used to do that. I remember when I started selling 27 years ago.
Yeah. That was it. You guys
was
just
a
get.
product
Yeah.
that we could kind of tell
Correct.
people, take this kind of
Right, I mean-
construction
Right.
bridge kind of loan and get your house ready for us to be able to list it.
Right. I mean, it's good for a seller who wants to be able to fix up their property, and it's great for a buyer who buys something that needs to have some work done, but doesn't want to have to, doesn't have the cash to get it done now.
That's cool. That's great. That's great information. for
Based on
people.
future value, which always goes up.
In the Hamptons.
Real estate only goes one direction, up. And
up.
let's thank Angela. Thanks for coming here, Melissa. Always great to have you.
Great to see
What
you.
about an open house?
We have some open houses we
Oh,
can
let's
show
look at
people.
those. Look at
Ooh,
this.
let's see what this
That's
one.
mine.
Oh, that's Angela Boyer's 94
That's my listing,
Pelletro.
94 Pelletro.
Tell us about it, Angela.
It is fabulous. It's in the Village. It's asking $6,395,000, 7 bedrooms, finished lower level. It's geothermal.
Geothermal.
It is fantastic. That is a heated gunite pool with spa, and Brown Construction Corp is the builder. detached garage. He just builds a stunning home.
That's
I
a
can't
really
s-
pretty
It's
house.
really
Beautiful.
fabulous.
You know what I'm really impressed though, if they ever show my videos, if we ever show any videos of my listings on the show, I have to look down at the information to remember.
Oh,
Angela knew right away. All right, the next one we have is 205B Windmill Lane. Oh, there we go. I got a
Owner's
call.
calling right now.
Someone's calling.
Show
They're-
my house.
Show my house.
There you
Do we
go.
have another one?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's 3 in there somewhere.
No, we don't.
There's
I'm
Bill.
open all weekend, and that's exciting. But let's take a look at our next open house.
Do we have it?
Let them just, no, hey, look, we're live and we prove it every weekend.
Why don't we talk weather, Bill?
You want to, well, are we done with the real estate roundtable?
I think we're done with the real estate
Ladies.
roundtable and the videos from the open houses.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
lots going on this
Thanks.
weekend. I want to mention the farmer's market at Herrick Park Road in East Hampton from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's on Sunday. Also beginning soon at Main Beach. I'm not sure whether it's this weekend or next weekend, but there is free yoga. Actually, it is starting at 8:30, and you can park for free until 10 o'clock, but at 10:01, they will tow you away. So that's at Main Street Beach, Saturdays in East Hampton. And what else is going on? We want to thank nice sponsors like, Mellissa Cohn and the Mellissa Cohn Group who you just saw, and the William Raveis Mortgage Company. Let our family bring you home. More at raveis.com. And by Douglas Elliman Real Estate and the Elliman Insider in all of us. The Elliman Insider in all of us. All the latest trends at elliman.com. And of course, thanks to Canoe Place Inn and Cottages in Hampton Bays. Fine hospitality since 1697. They've remodeled. There's new, yeah, they put a coat of paint on yesterday. It looks good.
Did they renovate it since-
More at canoeplace.com. By the way, there's a whole as we come, what are we, 60 minutes all of a sudden?
Can we pull back to make Bill look better?
No,
How do you feel about Cleveland?
it's called the
Anyway.
Boathouse. It's called the Boathouse. And there's a very special thing happening this weekend in Southampton where people like Katie Couric are speaking to a bunch of high net worth folks. And some of those people are staying at Inspirato's The Boathouse. Hey, listen, we're going to meet a special guest who's going to tell us all about real tag sales like Martha Stewart's and
we have to
stuff.
do it
But
over
first,
here.
let's go to the weather. Hey, it's hot all week, but it's going to get a little overcast. Throw that weather up. Yeah. Saturday is going to be high 79, low of 68, and UV index of about 6. Sunday, it's breezy. That's what that thing going around is. That's breeze. Well, we had a little sun there for a second. High is 79, low of 78. It's going to be a UV index rating of 8. But it does get cooler this weekend than it has been all week long. We have had August weather. No kidding. All June. If you're just joining us, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons now. It's everything happening in the Hamptons on the weekend. We have some house sales happening in Southampton, Wainscott, and Hampton Bays. But apropos of that, as we come out to, oh, look at that, we moved.
Oh,
Please.
it's all good.
Hey,
Oh, look,
here
the
we are.
clouds
We're
blinking.
over
That's
here.
so cool.
We've got the king of, I wouldn't say tag sales, although.
He's kind of
My
this.
computer is freezing. We're trying to work on it right now.
All right, but are we even
Are we
still on
stopped?
the air right now?
We're still in the air.
Oh, okay,
okay. I
good,
love
good.
The computer's freezing.
Would Vince like to do the weather again?
Vince, talk about the weather. Go ahead, just repeat it.
The Saturday cloud I'm not liking because I'm having my own sale in
Yeah,
front of
oh,
my
are
house
you?
on Miller Lane East.
Well, in that honor, that cloud is crying for you, as you can see right there.
She
No,
looks
what?
good.
It's going to be nice tomorrow. I saw it on my phone. It said it's going to be
Okay.
nice.
We don't say tomorrow, we say this weekend.
Saturday, we
because
say-
we are running this show, as such as it is, frozen or unfrozen, all weekend long.
Is this like Carvel frozen or more like Budaberry frozen?
How about frozen margarita frozen?
I would love a. Oh, you know who's really
There
great?
we are, we're
Oh,
back.
there we
I
go.
like, oh,
By the way, you know who's great margarita's Baker House. Just saying again, Antonella. That she has that.
Oh, yeah, she
the
was on
après,
last
the
week.
après.
We went
thing
to
of
that backyard. Speaking of
Stunning.
outdoor tag sales, nothing's for sale there except these great drinks for $22 each that are like a little chemist
bad.
came
No,
up
not
with
bad.
them.
no,
no,
drinks
for
are
the
like
Hamptons, a
$40,
bargain.
$50. Yeah, really?
Justin Timberlake is on his way there now. So, hey, Vince Manzo.
Yes.
The Great American Tag Sale. You
Yeah.
did it with Martha Stewart.
I did.
You have made.
Does she like you, Martha?
Of course she likes me. And I want to say thank you for that intro, King of the Tag Sales. I love you. I've been called King of the Hamptons.
Okay, well,
I just want you to know.
You've been
I'll throw
called
that out.
king of a lot of things.
I know that. Well, you know.
Yeah,
Do you walk through houses? Thank you, Vince Manzo.
For the weather.
You've done it for
Many
Martha
years.
Stewart, but do you walk through houses of couples and pull one aside and go, you know, if you ever break up, you could make a lot of money off. That's so fun, that big screen TV.
Yeah. You know, the stuff is always there. It's always in front of you, you know. And if you could recognize value, which I do, you know, a lot of these people want to just throw things out in the Hamptons.
Right.
They want it out of their life.
Right.
But I can direct them what to do with it. I'll tell them to go here. I can go to Kristen's, you know, she just mentioned her, in Riverhead, who just deals with consignment stuff and furniture.
Well, we have Colette out there too, who I'm sure you work with.
Colette's
It has
wonderful.
Like 11 or 12. There's a pop-up in my living room for Colette.
I
She has a
love
lot of
Colette.
pop-ups. Lots of pop-ups.
She's hung in there for many
Yeah.
years. She's great, and she knows her business.
Well, like you, she sees the value of
Yes.
things that otherwise people are going to get
well,
rid of.
I
Yeah,
bought-
weren't you going to bring some stuff in? Where's your stuff?
It's
I
all
understand-
jammed in my van, underneath skip laurels that have to be planted as soon
in
as
my
I leave.
van. That sounds
Yeah.
that sounds comforting.
Well,
Anyway,
it's my
but-
storage
so
unit on wheels.
What should we, you know, when we're emptying out our house, what sort of stuff should we look at and say, maybe I should have this appraised before I throw it away?
Grandma stuff,
Really? Grandma stuff?
which everybody wants out of their house.
Like the Hummels and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, that's. You know who's buying all the Hummels? Chinese people. are buying
Really?
like crazy.
Really?
Oh, China is obsessed with Hummels.
My mother
So
had a lot of Yadros, and my sister's all
There's
custom.
still all that stuff still has a price tag on it.
But if the market is something international, should you take it to First Dibs or eBay or one of those places
Yeah.
that can actually ship it internationally
Well,
for you?
that's what I do. I direct them exactly to where it should be sold, you know, because I totally identify it and I know what the value is and I could sell it. You
Now,
know.
for example, my 1988 Bjorgen table from IKEA that I assembled myself, that's kind of wobbly. Is that worth anything?
Maybe to you it is, but I don't know to anyone else.
What, it's sports memorabilia?
Celebrity provenance.
Sports memorabilia is still strong. You know what we were talking? The photographer
Rob.
had an old camera, and these young kids are into old cameras now. Nikon cameras are through the roof, and Canon and all that.
I have some Nikons.
Don't throw them out.
Whoa.
No.
Old radios too, like the
Yes.
wall punks and the
Yes.
Oh,
table radios, especially if they still work. People
Wow,
are-
Tonk. Wow, remember them. They
Yeah,
were like the car to have.
Turntables are
Who
really
keeps
good.
calling you, and do you have an off switch for
I
that?
did think I turned it off. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Our
why.
screen freezes, but your phone continues to work. Apple, not one of our sponsors, but should be.
But anyway, let's get back to me.
Yes,
what I do,
please.
Okay. No, I can host a tag sale, which I make it fun, totally fun.
Right.
All right, and I have design backgrounds with Tiffany and Company. I was a display director there, so I know how to put the stuff together and make it look great.
Right.
That is a big
How to
thing.
stage it.
Stage it.
I never
yes.
thought of a tag sale being staged, but you like...
Totally.
I know there's a term called smalls, which is all the little stuff that they put
Yeah.
on one table or something.
Well,
and
that's Liza Werner. You go to Sage Street. She loves her smalls. See, there's dealers for everything. James McGuire in Hampton Bays deals with furniture. I send people there.
Right.
And there's a new secret location that just opened, Twins. I'm going to give them a plug because they're
please.
really good girls. Vintage Twins, Twin Hearts Vintage. They're right on Job's Lane, but in the alley, right where that pub is.
Oh,
They're
behind,
wow.
People
behind
will
where...
love to know that because it's like a really good kind of vintage-y, non-commercial store there, and you'll love it.
What's the
Trust me.
biggest find that you wandered into a garage? Like,
should
what's
I
your
talk
sort
about
of
it?
your antiques roadshow moment? Where
I
you
went to
said,
buy pine furniture from a woman who was begging me, actually a daughter of a woman who passed away. I won't say where. Anyway, she begged me to come and look at her pine furniture. I said, I do not buy pine furniture. I do not. That's why dealers say whenever you're called to a house to go and look, because that's your chance to find a treasure.
Right.
And what's on the floor but a, first century Roman sarcophagus. And I
Right.
bought it for $25. That was a biggie. There was a lot more.
You doubled your money there.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But there was
Sold
a
it for
problem with it because I needed to hire a scholar. This is all part of it, to find out when it was bought during the Grand Tour and it was legal. I could sell it because it had papers. It was in a book. It was cataloged. This stuff is mind blowing.
I
We
watch
really have to
I
do-
watch Pawn Stars all the time, and they have a lot of rules, like they can't buy firearms unless they're over 100 years old.
Right.
Is that true
Yes.
across the country?
Totally, totally true.
And what else is to be avoided?
Animal parts,
ivory.
Ivory.
and species of animals that are
Not
endangered.
embalmed. What are they taught? What are
Yeah, taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
And I love taxidermy, but just as long as they're dead.
But another thing you said to me is a lot of the nostalgia, like games that when we were kids.
Oh,
if you had them in good
Mystery Day. Open the door.
Did you play Mystery Date a lot as a kid?
No, I watched my sisters play it.
Yeah, you were jealous.
Well, we're gonna play a little game. We're gonna play a little game with Vince right now called
Okay.
Pick the Tag Sale. Here's 3 tag sales we're gonna tell you about, and you're gonna say which one is the best one.
Okay.
In Southampton, there's a huge yard sale this weekend. Judy Bousson's extraordinary handmade quilts, rugs, linens, and pillows, arts and furniture, and they take Venmo and Zelly. Or in Wainscott, there's,
Zelly? Is that like Zell?
Zell, yeah.
Okay.
Zell, Harbor Estates in Wainscott. Carol McCormick presents.
Nice
I
lady.
know her.
I know Carol.
Yes.
I knew
Carol's helped me
And
out.
Carol
These
gives
are the names.
really good prices. I would go to Carol's.
Okay, but here's the third one. In
All
Hampton,
right.
Hampton Bay's teak outdoor furniture, refinished sets, 11-foot tables. Some people need big stuff. Also, a Gloucester sectional convertible set. That's Sunday. So of the 3, you'd go to the Carol McCormick.
Yeah, because I know Carol deals with vintage and antique things that I look for.
That is Saturday and Sunday at
Yeah.
65 Sayers Path, Wainscott.
It all depends on what you are looking for.
Wow.
Wording in an article is very important. The less they say, the better it is.
Is
The
Martha
less-
going to do that again? Is she going to have another televised big sale?
We're hoping she does, because she is such a hoarder. I mean, she
Hoarder?
is.
Here you
she's-
have it, page 6.
well-
Martha's a hoarder.
Joy Behar called her a high-class hoarder. You remember that,
Yeah.
Michelle?
On the
that's
show,
great.
yeah.
That's great.
But you
And I'm right about Joy and Joan Joan.
You were
Joan
right on.
Embry?
No, not Joan Embry. Joan, who was the radio host out here that used to?
Oh, Joan Hamburg.
Joan
They
Hamburg.
would show up at they were the early birds. They're
She
the,
goes with me.
yeah.
Yeah, on Saturdays.
Who, Joan Hamburg goes
No, Joy. I pick her
Joy.
up. We're going to do another tag sale for Joy in August. So I'm
Will you come
hosting
on
it.
before? Will you come on
Yeah,
before?
please.
and tell us?
Yes,
Bring
and
her.
I'd like to do something else that, to bring out values and things.
Vince
Yeah, I thought you were gonna
Manzo
bring
is
some-
the great American tag sale expert. He's the king of tag sales.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it.
So what's playing at the movies, Bill?
Hey,
again?
listen, there is a new movie. Did you see the Emma Stone film that she won the Oscar for? Lagos Yerkomos or whatever the...
Little Things or whatever it was
Pretty
called?
Things.
Pretty Things, I don't
Yeah.
know.
He has a new movie called Kinds of Kindness, and it is playing, I believe, at Sag Harbor. Here's a little behind the scenes look at that film.
Must put on a few pounds. I told you that last time.
But I have.
Skinny men are the most ridiculous thing there is.
Kinds of kindness. It's something different in terms of form to what we have done before.
This is it, the moment of truth.
Thought that would be interesting to try and make a film with 3 different stories. It's like a short story collection.
It's a little dreamlike. It sort of unfolds inside of you as time goes on.
It's 3 stories, which are sort of connected, but not in a conventional way. His idea was that he would have cast members playing a different character in each story.
There's questions about identity, faith.
How's the foot?
It's all about the human condition.
The common thread that I found is this balance between wanting to be loved and accepted and controlled. No. And wanting to be free.
Feels like an alternate universe, honestly. The rules of the world just seems a bit off.
There's something funny about these dynamics and circumstances.
You're laughing and it's upsetting and you kind of don't really know what you're feeling. It's like that, am I allowed to laugh kind of feeling.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
Omi was right. Susan is not contaminated. Even though his films have such traumatic things, there's a certain sense of humor running throughout all of it.
It's stretched from reality in this unsettling, funny, often dark way.
Should we all go upstairs to the bedroom?
Mark.
She asked me to fuck her in my uniform.
There's room for you to think about those things and apply your own logic to them.
We didn't, obviously.
That makes it, more complex and more engaging.
Nothing's spelled out for you, and it makes you think, and the best art does that.
The story is very Yorgos, very specific world. He has a gift for tricking you into seeing things that you can't normally see. There's a magic to that.
This dog is like my family. I'm not sure if you can relate.
Kinds of Kindness, a very odd film which opens this weekend in Sag Harbor. If that is your kind of thing, it's there.
I'd rather go for a good jog, run, or the Peloton.
Or take a big splunge into a giant ice.
Dennis Remski's here. Let's just jump. That's not working with Hampton's Recovery Lounge.
We don't rehearse. There's no script. Well, there kind of is. Hey, Dennis, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
I don't
for
know if you heard at the top of the show. This is a big thing. Now people say you're supposed to take a cold shower every morning, get up at 5 a.m. There's a whole 5 a.m. club, and this kind of charges you for the day. When did this become a thing?
Well, I think recently I talk a lot about the instance of COVID, spurring a lot of people on their plunge journeys. A lot of people are stuck at home. A lot of reels on Instagram. Hey, what are these people doing to stay fit while they're doing COVID workouts? So I think that there was a spike in the interest in cold plunging because as a result of COVID. But traditionally, always been reserved for post-workout for athletes. How many movies or shows you see where, guys from the professional teams are sitting in ice baths just to, capture that de-inflammation. So it's something that is definitely on the forefront of the athletic community right now.
So you're new out here in the Hamptons.
We are new.
You're located...
The recovery room.
The recovery lounge.
Oh, the recovery lounge.
The recovery lounge.
Right there.
And you're located on Butter Lane, right?
Right off of Butter on Foster Avenue. So the address is 48 Foster Avenue off of Butter Lane. It's
right by the Equinox and the Soul Cycle.
Yeah, right across the street.
Yeah,
across
perfect.
the street. So I think that it's a really good spot. We're right in the the heart of the town there. We're only a block away from the train station. So any weekenders that are coming out can easily walk over, grab a sauna plunge before they start their party weekend.
How cold is cold?
How cold is cold? Well, a lot of research says that anything below sub 50 50 degrees Fahrenheit would be considered a cold plunge. We have some experienced plungers that come into the lounge. I mean, they're looking for 40 and below. So the chillers that we use can go down to
That killed Jack
30.
and Titanic. Did you know that?
That was an extended period of time.
Oh my God.
How long do you do it?
So I don't like typically 2 to 5 minutes is the suggested amount of time when we're comboing in a contrast Nordic cycle. So the Nordic method would be heating up the body using saunas. So we're doing 25-minute sauna session followed by a 3 to 5 minute cold plunge. So in a half hour you can get a full Nordic cycle done right at the recovery.
Does that make it easier if you sit in the sauna then go in the cold?
It's funny you say that. Well, some people believe it does. Obviously they're warm, they're hot, they're sweaty. It's easier to I want to I want to cool off my body and cool off. So it makes it easier to get in, but then it doesn't really help with staying in for an extended period of time for 2+ minutes. So
wow, if you're just joining us, this is Weekend Live, the Hamptons Now, and for some reason the cameras are working, so we're on a roll.
The computer unfroze.
If you just joined us,
but we're going to put it into an ice plunge.
Difficulty before, but yes, the ice plunge we're learning now from Dennis Remski from the Recovery Lounge can cure a lot of ills, and this isn't a fad. You think this is something maybe they've been doing for years in other cultures, and we're just adopting it now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's definitely trendy right now. It's definitely something that you're seeing on a lot of the socials. But
what are the odds that something trendy would come to the
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, how did you get introduced to this?
Great question. I'm athlete by trade, or growing up playing lacrosse in high school and college, and navigating my journey as an adult athlete and how to recover, how to feel better, on a daily basis. I was fortunate enough to celebrate my 40th birthday in Park City, Utah. I was out there at a spa, the St. Regis Spa, and they had all the contrast therapies there. So that was really my first experience in doing a contrast. And I was the one, doing the hot tub, the sauna right into the cold plunge. I was probably in there for about an hour, doing 3-4 cycles. So that was my,
That's great.
Entry level.
And just personally, are you sleeping better? Do you have, does it really help with your metabolism? There's a lot of claims about this, so help us
There are a
debunk
lot
that.
of claims. Yeah, I would say primarily you're getting increased energy levels, better circulation in your body. When it comes to metabolism, there are some benefits that have been, some research that is published that it does spike metabolism in your body through a process with your brown fat. So by generating brown fat in your body, it's a very energetic process. It takes a lot of heat, a lot of energy, and that does, spike the metabolism for weight loss.
We just showed a weather. There we go. There's the website, the Recovery
there's
Lounge.
me, yeah.
Good.
You could go right on the website, check out the available services, book online, and come right into 48 Foster Avenue.
And what's the website address again, Dennis?
It's Recovery Lounge, therecoveryloungehamptons.com, or recoverylounge.life. Therecoverylounge.life is one of our new sites, and that'll feed you right to our main site there.
We are coming by with giant bottles of vodka that we will put in the
Sips and
ice,
dips.
like sips and dips.
Let's
That's a
do
thing.
it. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Dennis Remski, thanks for joining us. Hey, something is always happening here at LTV, and this weekend it's another big musical extravaganza. We're going to give you a tease of it now, and then we're going to meet somebody from it.
So come with me where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of lovely things and your heart will fly on wings forever in never, never. God bless you, Hampton Summer's Songbook by the Sea. A land. Thank you.
Tonight, no.
Say hello to Donna Rubin as we organize
our notes.
Yeah, welcome to LTV, where something seems to be happening every weekend. We got a little look at what's happening this weekend. Tell us who's on the program.
Well, tonight is tonight is opening night of our Hampton Summer Songbook. We call it Hampton Summer Songbook by the Sea. So it's opening night starring Anna Bergman, who is a wonderful singer. She was here last summer. We started the series actually last summer as like a pilot trial series to see how it would work here at LTV.
That's what we're kind of doing here now.
Yes.
Is this
a pilot program?
This is a pilot program,
Yeah.
yes. So Anna performed last summer and it went beautifully well. And so she's opening tomorrow night, but we have a series of
So when you say tomorrow
performances.
night, Saturday night is
Saturday night.
a different, so you're featuring different people all weekend long.
So no, this is 8 Saturdays, starting tonight.
This weekend.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
that's
weekend.
exciting.
And I saw Tova Feldshue is one of your upcoming guests as well.
Yes, so on July 13th, she's going to be doing her performance.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, and it's called Aging is Optional Because God, I Hope It Is. Very cute, right? So she's going to be doing her show on the 13th. But we have 8 different performances.
Wow.
It's not every single weekend, so we have 2 in June, 2 in July, and 4 in August.
Can you buy like a package? Can you subscribe to it and come to all of them?
You can buy as many as you want.
That's a good answer.
As many as you want. We're happy to have you, yes.
And is it set up theater style or cabaret style or what's the room?
What we're trying to do is create a really nice atmosphere in, these studios that are, obviously it's not like a restaurant here, right?
No, they do a great job. It's very
Yes.
cozy there. They make a nice thing of it.
Yeah, so we got little cafe tables and we're
Wonderful.
gonna put our little, tablecloths on it and.
Candles too?
Maybe candles.
Oh, good.
So we're gonna have our, first 2 rows will be our VIP seating, more cafe style, and then the rest will be behind them, and we're gonna adapt to make the venue look
You
beautiful.
know who does the exact same thing? Sticks and Stones Comedy at the Cultural Center over in Southampton, and they have comedy all summer. So there's something for everyone out here. The Songbook will sing all summer long, and we thank you so much for dropping by to tell us about
Go
it.
to the LTV website if you want more information or to buy tickets, correct?
LTVEH.org, I think, right?
TVEH.org. We're happy to have you. We have great performers. They're the best of the best.
Donna Rubin, thanks for coming.
Thanks
We
for
appreciate
joining
you
us.
having
Wave goodbye, Donna. You're free to go now. It's no longer a hostage situation. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next weekend.